Hey Woody, how are you? Thanks for jumping on our call today. Hey, so I wanted to chat with you about something. As you know, I work with many manufacturers in the mining and the metals industry, and I was looking at some of the new solutions that Innovapptive is bringing to the market, and I was specifically interested in your AI forms solution. And Woody, I'll be candid with you. Like the mining and metals industry isn't exactly known for being on the cutting edge of digital transformation. So when I'm talking to some of my customers, they're going to really want to understand, why should they care about things like generative AI forms for their business?
Yeah, that's a fantastic point, Sarang, and I'm glad you bring that up because honestly, some of the mines that I've been working with, they've been running the same way for quite some time. Some might even say that since the gold rush, it's been the same, except maybe some of their equipment's just gotten bigger. But here's the thing, in an industry where time, safety, money is everything, AI driven forms are an absolute game changer. Because just imagine eliminating all of that manual data entry, having to keep up with all of the compliance of those forms, and turning hours of paperwork generation into really just minutes.
So, yeah, like a lot of the organizations that I'm working with are still on paper-based forms. So I'm going to make a controversial statement here. Are you telling me, they can digitize these forms and they can finally retire their clipboards and their coffee-stained paperwork?
I don't think it's that controversial, but that's exactly it. AI powered forms, they're not just digitalizing existing documents. That's certainly an aspect of it, but we're also intelligently extracting key data, structuring it in a logical pathway, integrating it as well with your core ERP system, maybe something like SAP or Maximo, which means that our field crews, whether it be operations or maintenance, our safety teams, they're all spending more time doing their jobs, more productive efforts, and less time wrestling with that paper and making sure that the coffee doesn't inevitably stain it.
Got it. I mean, look, Woody, that sounds great, but let's talk about real world challenges for these businesses. I mean, these mining operations, and I know you've worked with a number of them as well, they're massive, right? And things like unplanned downtime can cost their businesses thousands, if not millions of dollars per hour. And so, how can something like AI forms help with that? Because these are the types of questions that my mining customers are asking me.
Yeah, and that's a fantastic question. And I think just as a we'll give a little sneak peek to what we'll be doing later. But let's say in a real world scenario, you're having to do these routine inspections, whether it be for CAT 793F haul truck or other large equipment that you have on site. So somebody's having to go in every day, manually fill out a checklist, honestly, probably pencil whip a lot of different things. And sure, they get pulled into other areas of their business. So things get missed and they have to hope that somebody inputs it correctly later. So what we're doing with AI forms is we're allowing our technicians, our operators to instantly capture critical data, flag those issues that come up, and even suggest corrective actions. So if I need to grab the mileage off of this truck, I'm actually doing that and I'm making sure that it's meaningful, which means that my teams are getting real time insights. We're going to reduce our overall mean time to repair, prevent those unplanned breakdowns as much as we can, as well as increasing our overall safety and compliance, because that's the real name of the game here.
That's interesting, but help me understand this. Like, how long does it take to actually digitize these forms? Like, I've seen some organizations take on these sorts of projects, and they end up becoming, multi-year projects, and it's been, um, a big hurdle for their business. So, can you help me understand that?
Absolutely. Yeah, I would say that's one of the best parts because our AI it's able to ingest in a few different ways, whether we're doing just a simple upload of a PDF, a Word doc, a PNG, JPEG, all the acronyms, or if we're using generative AI to scrape the web of, OEM data or the most recent regulatory requirements. This is all just taking minutes, and it's automatically detecting what types of fields it's looking at, structuring those in a logical manner, and integrating that with your existing workflows. So customers of ours that we've, as a company, Innovapptive has taken, let's say, 100 different forms. We've digitalized all of those for them in the past. We're now doing that in just minutes and not even starting from scratch.
Okay, so what you're literally telling me I can take an old pile of forms, feed it into the Innovapptive solution, and like you said, within minutes, I've got a digital form. You know what I'm going to ask for next. I got to see something like this because while I trust you, Woody, and I know you've spent a lot of time with these organizations, all of my customers are going to say, Sarang, show me how this actually works.
Yeah, and I figured that question was coming, so I'd be more than happy to take us through that next logical part where what does this actually look like for our customers, right? So we're going to come into the Innovapptive Connected Back Office suite, right? So as you can see, we're just immediately prompting with creating using AI. So I'm actually going to embed this. This is one of the key requirements of a lot of our customers to make this available within their core ERP system. So just as I alluded to earlier, let's create a preventative checklist for a CAT 793F all truck. Create this form. And, I like to add in a little please, not necessary, but what we're doing here is just simple query, right?
So you're not like, I mean, Woody, you don't need any specialized skills or anything like that. I mean, it seems like you're literally just typing in normal day language and saying, hey, create this form.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm just typing it in English. And by the way, this can translate into a variety of different languages, dialects, and just at the click of a button, the AI is going to initially analyze this and divvy it up into these different sections so that now I get a preview of what it's going to generate here. And as soon as I click continue, it's going to start analyzing and generating these things. So, I mean, Sarang, how long does it take your customers today to do something like this?
I mean, something like this, because these checklists tend to be pretty long, Woody. I mean, this we're talking about hours, if not days, just to be able to, create something like this.
Right. And as we're sitting here, just having a nice cup of coffee, just chatting about, how this can impact our customers, it's already loaded up my first section. And as we go through this, as I continue to talk, it's now completed this form. And it's giving
So
me a wide variety of choices too.
Woody, I mean, it's literally, it looks like it's created multiple sections. I mean, I'm looking at each section here. It's probably got 10 to 15 questions per section. It looks like it's even gone through and figured out for each question, here is the response type, right? Is this going to be a date and time field? Is this a checkbox? Is this a text field? I mean, it literally did all this in about 60 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, we really stick to that minute time frame. So you don't even have the time to go up and refresh your coffee by the time this thing is done. What's more is it's giving me a preview on the right side. So if I need to make any changes, let's say I initially start and it gets me 80% of the way there. We're talking 2 to 3 weeks of time transformed into less than a minute with all of the fixings that I would need to make sure that my folks who need this on the front line have it available immediately. Because as soon as I publish this, that's ready to go. My workers can immediately take advantage of this form. And now we're better capturing our assets' longevity.
Well, that is truly amazing, Woody. My next question is going to be, when can I get you onto a phone call with some of my customers? Because, this is going to be very interesting for their business. I mean, I've gone in, I've seen their operations, I've seen the piles and piles of paper forms, I've seen, a lot of reports get lost, things of that sort. So to be able to digitize this in literally minutes, and have it support their business is truly amazing.
It's pretty incredible, and we're always happy to talk with your customers.
Thanks, Woody. Hey, I appreciate the time today, and thank you for taking me through the AI form solution.
Not a problem. Thank you.